fight before?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good defense?
Yeah.
Must train different in America. Your defense stinks.
You are the new student. Come closer.
You're listening to the Kung Fu Podcast presented by James Still.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
And Steve Newby.
What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
'47. We're on 47. Okay.
So I've just been down the cannabis shop, James.
Yeah. Because no wonder you're high, because you're an hour late setting up.
Wait a minute.
You're late. I told you.
It's 1:50. You said 1:30 till 2 o'clock.
No, I did not say that. I said 9 my time.
Yeah, is
1 your time.
Yeah.
So that's 50 minutes late. We're 50 minutes late starting. Correct me if I'm wrong.
1:30. You said 2 o'clock latest.
I said 9 o'clock latest because I finished the class at 8.
I wouldn't have been able to do that then. Anyway, we're here, and I've been to the cannabis shop.
I'd give you a slap if you weren't a martial arts master. You went to the cannabis shop.
Yeah, well, I've bought everybody chocolate for Christmas.
That's gonna be a fun Christmas.
We're going to play board games.
I bet you are.
And eat the chocolate and see what happens.
Oh, God bless Canada.
Yeah.
God bless Canada. Right, everybody, welcome to the show. We didn't initially, I'll be honest, didn't plan on doing another one this side of Christmas, or this side of the new year, but we'll kind of finish off, in a cheerful way. We've got a couple of things we want to talk about. My name's James Still. Welcome to the show, podcast 47. I'm joined as ever by the ever on time, Mr. Steve Newby.
No one's got a life.
No one's got a life. I got a life. I've started a new job. Oh, here's my cup of tea. Thank you. Oh, no, pajamas. Thank you. I better cut that out. Apparently, I'm not going to. Right. Okay. So, what are we talking about today? So, we got something interesting. All right. Okay. All right. A couple of things.
We did some conversation previously about this and
Dickie Woo.
Yeah, Dickie Woo.
Dickie Woo. I don't know. Is it? Right. What's happened since? And right. I don't want this to be a big deal because, quite frankly, it's not a big deal. I couldn't give a shit, but it's a talking point. Yeah. It's a talking point, old man, and we've got to make the most of them. Now, since we did the episode on Dickie U fighting, right?
He was just demoing, wasn't he?
It was demoing. Well, since then, there was he'd arranged to have a fight with this ex-UFC guy called Bradley Scott, who's from Bristol. Here, don't mind the pigeons. From Bristol. All right, there. And what happened is they set up this fight in South Korea. So Bradley Scott and his mate, whatever his name is, Joe or something, they went off to South Korea. They did a training camp because there was, quite frankly, no training camp, I'll be honest. And it kind of shows. But we'll talk about that. And they had this fight. Now, some YouTube commentators, they're calling it the most important fight since UFC 1. I'll be honest with you. It was shit. Was it the most, what? The most important fight since UFC 1? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Quite frankly, not. So we're going to be talking about that. What we're going to do, we're going to watch the fight, and we're going to do a sort of running commentary of what's going on, what we see.
We have to watch all of it.
Oh, we'll watch all of it. It's only six rounds, but
but they're 3 minutes long each.
Yeah, but at the end, but it's good. It's good fodder, isn't it? We just talk about it, and don't forget, it's not going to be. I'm not Howard Cosell. Hello, Mr. Newbie. Here. I'm not Howard Cosell. I've never commentated before. We can talk a good fight though, can't we? All
as long as we can edit some of it,
yeah,
please.
We'll see. It was interesting. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a bit of a fight commentary for your pleasure, and because everybody else on YouTube is doing it, why not? Why not? Let's jump on the bandwagon. After that, we've got a question. We've got a sort of follow-up question.
Maybe it's because are they professionals and we're not?
No, trust me. I've watched some of these things. They're not professionals.
Okay.
Oh no. I'd like to think. I'll be honest with you. I'd like to think we can maybe class it up a bit, but knowing us, probably not. So we'll see. And then we've got a follow-up question to the Ging. Because I had a interesting comment on YouTube about our podcast we did about Ging, right?
Oh, it was only a comment we made.
It was a comment. Yeah. No, we did. We did an episode and we talked about Ging.
What is simple?
Ging? Yeah.
So we just made something simple of it.
Yeah.
We always try to make it simple so that
we can get it.
So we can understand it as well, yeah.
So we'll talk about that now. Right. Yeah. Anyway, let's press on. So, bit of background on this fight, and I'll be honest with you guys. I've not done a lot of research. It struck me as more of an exhibition between this Dickie Wu and Bradley Scott. More of a bit of an exhibition fight, but a bit of background on it. So. If you watch YouTube in the UK, you've got the Bradley Scott and his mate's channel called Fight Bible. Okay, and it's pretty much the two of them, and they don't mince the words, it's fair to say. And it's also fair to say they don't like traditional martial artists. Mm-hmm. Right? So they're always trying to sort of debunk it, approach everything from an MMA perspective, etc., etc. You get the vibe. It's fair enough.
Understandable.
Yeah, and I get that. And we all get that. So they sort of did a couple of videos about Dickie Yu. I'm going to call him Wu. Dickie Yu. And basically just saying, if you claim all this stuff, I'll fight you. That sort of thing, right? Issued a challenge. Okay. All right. Whatever. And, blow me, old Dickie Yu accepted. However, it wasn't going to be an MMA thing. It was going to be a boxing match, and this is where we find ourselves. A couple of weeks on from it, we've had to scrape and scrounge the footage because sort of it got copyrighted off YouTube. Blah blah blah. And it's fair to say the game plan that Brad and his mate had didn't really go to plan. It's also fair to say that it was a bit of a mismatch, but we knew this going in. And it's also fair to say it was a crap fight. I must say it was just absolutely abysmal. I'm not inspired at all. But lots of people are saying, "What a great fight." They're not boxers. Well, one of them can lay claim to a wee bit of boxing. The other, and I say a wee bit, but certainly we're not looking at, a great deal of skill in the boxing realm here, quite frankly. And I know, and we'll talk about it as we go on. But so we're going to play the vid now, and we're going to talk about it, okay? And we're going to start with round one, so you can follow us if you like. So this is DKU, whose debut boxing match. And he is the the founder of the his system of martial arts, Total Combat or whatever. I can't remember what it's called now. Where he sort of emphasizes a lot of fast motion, moving the waist, the inch punches, that sort of thing.
And I kind of liked his demos. I liked it. I thought he was a nice looking when he did his demos, but when he was demonstrating with someone fighting him, I think we did that on the thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't really respond to it very well. So
no.
Putting it into a fighting perspective, it didn't look as if it was great, but maybe he's great at self-defense,
Well, okay. Well, I'm not here to defend him or the other one. I just feel, I think, I was pretty unimpressed with them both. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say both fighters here have a lot to sort of offer in their own way. The world of martial arts. So DKU is his debut boxing fight against an ex-UFC guy who I think Bradley Scott's record in UFC, and it was an interesting one. I think he had a record of 11 wins. This is across his mixed martial art career. 11 wins, 6 draws, and 0 losses. But what happened, and Bradley Scott is 32 years old. Dickie Yu is 42 years old. So we've got a sort of age gap of 10 years here. We've also got a experience gap, okay? And we've got a quite noticeable weight gap. About 25 kilos that Bradley Scott has got on Dickie Yu. Now, Bradley Scott, it's only interesting. He got drug tested during his UFC days, and they found remnants of the cocaine in him, allegedly, and he got a suspension, 2-year suspension. So I just think that's interesting to know. So he's a bit of a party animal, old Bradley Scott is. So it was interesting. Anyway, right, we're going to join in. We're going to join the fight at round 1. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can follow along. If you want to listen to it, that's cool as well. We'll jump straight into it. So here we go. Okay, right. So this is the first round. Okay, initial impressions. Okay, so you got old Dickie Yu. He's doing a back fist, which is interesting, because I don't think Bradley Scott much liked the back fist, and he did a bit of complaining later on about the use of a back fist from Dickie. And if I'm honest with you,
I don't understand. Yeah.
Have you not watched Tyson Fury? Have you not watched Nazim Hamid or any of the Winkerbank stable? Back fists in boxing, what's the big deal? I don't get it. I mean, what?
It's very polite, isn't he, that DK?
Oh, yeah.
He's very polite, but he's...
he is facing a bit of a tank.
He is, yeah, but his footwork's probably a little bit better, to be honest with you, looking at it.
So that's the initial thing. I think because he's smaller, he's faster on his feet. He's got slightly better footwork, isn't he? But he hasn't got very.
He doesn't want to get too close.
No,
does he?
No.
He's not taking in that range. He should really be moving side on and moving to the side of it, throwing punches in the side as he goes.
But that's the issue,
kind of
isn't
like
it?
Crossing past him as he throws up instead of running away like he is.
Well,
1-2 and move. I think Semi-Conto will work quite well with this against this big guy.
Oh, 100%. He's a bit of a tank, isn't he? He's very open. But the thing about Dickie is, he's got a sort of speed advantage.
Yeah.
But the problem he's got is he can't find a way in, can he? He's struggling to find a way in.
He doesn't look like he's got any techniques to go in anyway. He doesn't look like he's doing anything. I mean, he's throwing, long punches. He's throwing reverse punches.
Yeah, and this is the
and it's
contention. This is a bit of a contentious point against all his critics who would stand there and say, well, in his seminars, he does a lot of back fists and, whoa, what happened to the inch punch and all that stuff? It's like...
But he's not going to knock him out because the guy's too big for him.
Of course he is.
So the only thing he can do really is throw as many points as he can to him. Yeah. So therefore, he's got to be doing some lead techniques.
Yeah.
Because they might not be powerful enough to hurt the guy too much, but at least he's going to pick up some points. That's my view anyway. Yeah. And then, never know. You might get a clear view if he does kind of occupy his mind with a back fist and throw a nice, hook or something.
Yeah.
He could easily do that, but he's not really going anywhere. He's just...
Well, I mean, look, you can see
getting trapped.
Yeah. You can see the weight play a major part just at the end of that first round there with Bradley Scott just absolutely dominating him. I mean, look, if we're dealing with a sport, right, let's make it fair, shall we? And I don't understand why you would sort of agree to fight someone under these rules when it's a sport and weight does play a big, part in it.
It plays a massive role in this.
I'll tell you what the critics would say. The critics would turn around and say, yes, but DKU, he's a martial artist. He's claiming this and that. He should be able to beat a bigger person.
I'm surprised they went for boxing, to be honest with you. I'd have thought, kickboxing at least. Both of them can throw kicks, but I would imagine that the bigger guy would be far more vulnerable to low kicks than the punches.
Yeah, but that Bradley Scott just has to land one on him, and that's
that's right. But if he's moving, and I totally understand, but I'm not too sure if he can. I'm not too sure if he would.
No, it's a brave decision. Boxing, it was brave.
Yeah, because he's very limited to what he can throw with his fists.
Yeah,
and his range is very limited as well.
I think Bradley Scott's game is mixed martial arts, so. I think,
but he'd be grappling. He'd be grappling.
Yeah, and that's my point. So
I think, but if you kept grappling out of it and you just did it as a kickboxing bout, I think it would be more equal.
Okay. So there, for example, you see him.
He's taking him down. He can throw him down.
He ducked down, and it's almost like a level change, and kind of. That's a lot of mass and weight for DKU to fight against, and just
that's right. It'll tire him out.
Absolutely.
It will. But like I said, if there wasn't any grappling allowed, any throws, that sort of thing, but just punches and kicks, kickboxing, then I would imagine using his kicks against the legs would be a much better, probably a much better chance for him. But trying to pit himself with just his fists against a much bigger target.
But look, you okay, so you're watching it, right? We're in round 2 now.
Yeah.
I mean, are you inspired at the moment by any of them? I mean, I'll be honest, you're just not here. And
the one is fighting for survival and the other one's trying to make a point.
Yeah, but, I'm looking for good skill, something that I'm that inspires me, and all I'm seeing is an aggressive fighter.
Yeah,
he's a defensive fighter. That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, his defensive is just too far out.
Yeah,
he can't change it. He can't change his position. He's too sideways, so he can't use his rear arm very well, and that's why he's swinging it so far.
Yeah,
and that's why it's missing.
Yeah,
because he's just swinging it from back there and
expelling a hell of a lot of energy. Now, Bradley Scott's fight camp.
Yeah.
We are led to believe consisted of quite a few bottles of whiskey.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, I
don't blame him really. If they've gone all that way.
Yeah.
He probably thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Oh, absolutely.
Because obviously his attitude against martial arts.
Oh.
I mean, there's no uppercuts or nothing from this guy. From the DK, there's no uppercuts or anything. He has the opportunity to throw uppercuts.
Yeah,
but all he's doing is throwing this huge haymaker from the furthest point.
Yeah.
And that's not, it doesn't make no difference because he's not big enough. No. The guy's quite big, and unless he catches him really well, he's not going to do that much damage to him.
Yeah. I mean, so there you go. So, right, there's Bradley Scott. He's
they're wearing gloves.
Holding the back of the head.
Yeah.
And punching. Now, look. You later on, you'll start to see Bradley Scott complaining about back fists, right? And about breaching the rules. I'm sorry, but holding the head, come on. Let's stop.
You see how he's swinging that? You see how he's swinging that? But it's miles out of range.
It's almost
he's not even finding his range. He's not even finding his range. There he found his range, and then as soon as he gets his range, he's overpowered.
Yeah.
So
well, you would be. It's a sport.
Well, yes, you would be.
Guy.
Exactly. That's the point. That's why it's a mismatch.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he finds his range, he's then going to be overpowered, and he's certainly going to be within a range proximity of much heavier punches.
Yeah.
So he's got to be throwing it and then ducking and diving straight away. You can't stand there and just throw a big haymaker and then just look up he, but then he just ducks and hides and of course then he gets knocked down.
Yeah. Wrestled down.
Yeah.
Pushed down.
He's got to move. So he's throwing that big one and then he turns his head.
Yeah.
See how?
He looks away. Yeah. Don't look away. It's not.
He should be throwing that one, and then he should be ducking underneath that arm and getting out the other side of the ring.
Look, shoulda, woulda, coulda, old man. That's what everyone's saying. He should have done this. Should have done that.
Yeah. But why is he still in front of him? He should be out to the side of him now.
Well, I think he's doing rope-a-dope. He's got to be. Come on. Sorry, I was too busy looking at the ring. Go.
Yeah. It'd be. I think this DK would do quite well with some washing line.
Oh yeah, under bam.
Yeah. Line, clothesline thing.
I know what.
As he runs past, just swinging past his punch.
Yeah. Oh,
as he goes past him.
Overhand.
Yeah, over the top of his arms.
Yeah.
Trying to catch him in the jaw. Instead of ducking down.
He just does not, Dickie just cannot close the gap, can he? He cannot close this gap effectively and put
and then
together
he's getting trapped. He's just got no.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any coordination.
Yeah, but this is the guy's. I'm not saying it's his first foray at boxing. Obviously, he's done a bit.
How many times then did he play with his fist?
Yeah.
How many times did he play? And this guy's just playing with him because he's just too big for him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
See how he keeps playing with him. Why isn't he just jump, walk? You've got to at least make him a little bit more wary of you. But he's not.
There's nothing coming back.
He's not giving him anything to be worried about.
Yeah.
And there's an uppercut. There's an uppercut now.
Yeah.
With his right hand, the DK.
Yeah.
But it's tight. To be fair.
Well, they're quite respectful in the ring because it was quite sort of the pair of them. Certainly that Bradley Scott had no time for Dickie, pre-fight and whatnot. So, at least there's some, sort of degree of mutual respect there. But, okay, so that's where he's going to...
That was a back fist, right?
Yeah, look, you go back and watch Nazeem Ahmed. He did that all the time. He'd hook and then follow it through with a back fist because it was there. Now, commendable, but,
He's got to get some uppercuts up there, that guy. DK's got to get...
Dickie needs to work to the body.
He's not. No, yeah, but uppercuts can be to the body. That's what I mean.
I know
he's got to be. He's got to be doing exactly what that other guy's doing.
There you go.
But he can't just defend himself. He's got to, in between those, he's got to be throwing them.
Yeah.
There, uppercuts. It's uppercuts.
Yeah. It is an awful mass bearing down on you, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's not. He's not throwing back. He's not at all. I mean, the little flurries and that just try to keep in the fight. Really.
Yeah.
No, he's not. It's like you said. It's a exhibition match.
Oh, this isn't reality. And this is what is it proving? Because there's
nothing.
They're mismatched.
And he's stuck in the corner there, and he didn't move from the corner.
Yeah.
He doesn't dance around. He's not moving around much at all. He's just sticking distance.
Yeah.
He's got to get out. He's got to be able to breathe. He's got to take time. He's got to think. He's got to plan.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to do anything while he's inside that kill box, shall we say?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I have to say I'm.
I see what you mean about the entertainment in the middle.
Yeah,
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's bloody.
He's not throwing anything back.
He's not.
Yeah, he's not throwing anything back.
He's not throwing anything back, and he's not buggering off. Bit of ring craft. He's
simply trying to survive.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But I look at Bradley Scott in his earlier days, and he was a hell of a lot sharper than this. This is a. I don't know what this is, but it is just a brawler, isn't it? It's an aggressive fighter.
To be fair, maybe Bradley Scott might have been better if he had a better opponent.
Wow.
But I don't know.
I think that is as well. How many times has Bradley Scott just fought a boxing match?
Yeah,
as opposed to just MMA, kicks, Muay Thai, whatnot.
Yeah,
you can definitely see. It's not. When you look at MMA guys, because they're training different aspects, different ranges, it's like you're not going to be overly proficient at saying.
Look at those boxing. Messing about with those arms and no range. It's just he's staying within the parameter of where Bradley Scott puts him. He's staying within that parameter.
He's exactly where he wants to be. He's where he wants him to be.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he certainly doesn't want to be there. That's for sure.
No, he doesn't want to be.
He's got to just keep moving. See, he could tire Bradley Scott just running around. Do you remember watching? You ever seen Life of Brian? Mm-hmm. That guy's running around, and the big gladiator dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have a cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Oh, that's where it could be.
But Bradley Scott can just tire him out by leaning on him.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But the other guy could tire Bradley Scott out by keep moving and make him throw punches at nothing. If he could throw punches at nothing, can he just throw out jabs and keep his distance and throw a couple of punches, then keep moving? He's going to be a lot better off. But trying to be, trying to match up to him to get that big swinging punch, which isn't really going to be effective.
Yeah.
And he's southpaw. Is he always southpaw? Is he that DK?
Yeah. I mean, he's tried a few switch hits, but to be honest, he's going off the old the JKD philosophy, isn't it? Strongest side forward.
Yeah.
But oh, it's a that's a lot of mass to be wrestling with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a picture, James.
Yeah.
You see this picture?
Yeah.
Is this any good?
What's that? I can't see it.
It's a chicken with muscles.
Oh, right.
With two arms like
what's that got to do with this?
Well, it's a chicken with two arms fighting.
Oh,
like
okay.
muscles.
I couldn't see that.
I'm going to have to send it. Yeah, you can stick it on here. It's a thing you can buy for your chicken.
Bradley. Yeah, good combination in there.
He's getting fed up now. Yeah, there you go.
He's getting fed up, but that's probably something to do with he hasn't knocked him out yet.
Well, yes, that's true. He hasn't knocked him out yet. That's a fact. But all that moving forwards, like that single step moving forwards, that should not have been allowed.
Yeah. I mean,
that DK should have been moving all over the place from that. He shouldn't have just moved with it. Yeah.
But I mean, in all fairness to Dickie, he's still standing.
There's no fooling, though, is there? There's no
strategy.
Fainting,
it's uninspiring. It is crap from both of them. And one should know damn well better. Jesus Christ. If he wasn't in the bar getting pissed, this is ridiculous. The most important fight since UFC 1, piss off. That Ramsey Dewey said that. Ramsey Dewey from Shanghai, China.
Oh, no. I like him.
I do. I like him too, but
But
what the hell?
I don't agree with this. But then again, he's pro kick, pro
Well,
this kind of thing, isn't he?
He is, but he's
UFC.
sort of he gives traditional martial arts a fair shout as well. To be fair,
Well, maybe you've seen a little bit of it.
oh mate, well, you don't know, but I mean, yeah, it's a hell of a feat. That's all I'm saying. Weight difference alone. If we're talking about a sport here, gang,
An attitude difference as well. They're both there. He knows he's not going to win this DK guy. He knows he's not going to win. He's just hoping he can throw something, but he doesn't know how to plan it.
No.
He's hoping he can throw some, but see, he's just playing with his arms all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't suppose he's used gloves that much.
Well, no, wouldn't it be great to have to teach Dickie, like you said, teach him point fighting, just to learn to close that gap, just get in there at the very least, give him that skill set, and then move into moving. I mean,
he's not moving at all. The footwork is atrocious.
No, right? I think, it's bad, but it's more ring. I'm looking at it thinking, okay, it's lack of ring craft.
Yeah, he doesn't know which direction. Yeah,
he can move. The amount of ring he can move, but look, he's being cornered all the time, and he's not aware of his exits and all the rest of it. So God bless him. I mean, look. Look how much space he's got there.
He's just took himself into the corner.
Exactly.
And now he's got no way of fighting his way out.
No.
So he's not attempting to fight his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Well, then, see, that was...
And now he throws that punch. He should have just moved then.
Yeah. But
why did he want to do it? Just...
Well, he's getting tired, and you can forgive him. You can forgive him. I mean, look, he's a tank, old Brad.
Yeah.
I say old Brad. Jesus Christ, he's 10 years younger than Dickie. But you wouldn't know it, would you? He's fighting like a guy in his mid-40s, if I'm honest with you. It's not inspiring. And I think he probably knows that as well. But, yeah. I think they probably just had a laugh. I think they're there just for a laugh, or see what happens, sort of thing. But you can certainly see,
it's uninspiring.
It is. But Brad's confident though. You get that. You understand why.
Well, he wouldn't have gone otherwise.
No, I know. But
I think he just wants to prove a point. Yeah, I think he's not fighting DK. He's fighting traditional.
Yeah, but
that's
he's
what
not
fighting.
though, because it's a sport. This is what they don't get.
Yeah, but
you're fighting what strategies and tactics.
He's fighting what he believes to be traditional. He's against traditional martial arts, so he's kind of gone there to make his point about fighting traditional martial arts. But in truth, that guy is not particularly a traditional martial artist. He's trained traditionally, but he's making his own stuff up, self-defense wise. Bruce Lee kind of theme, that type of thing. I don't think he's thinking much about survival in terms of what happens when you end up on the floor, so on. It is, he's just this DK guy just seems to be maybe trying to prove that his martial art works.
I to be honest, we always talk about the strategies and tactics here within. And really, what am I looking at here? Strategy and tactic wise,
you're not looking at any strategy.
I know.
Tactics. This is just the luck that they're both standing up.
Yeah. I mean, he's just got no follow-up, Dickie, has he? He's got this lead jab or a back fist that he wants to, that he'll hit with. He'll peck away at it. But then
it's not going to hurt him. Like I said,
it's not going to hurt him. He's just going to.
It's not going to hurt him. Yeah, so he shouldn't be standing there when he hits him.
No.
He shouldn't be there to take the consequences of his actions. He should hit it and then move out and then make the guy chase him. It'll tire him out a lot more. Let him swing a few punches at the wrong range. change the range all the time, so he's forced to, step, change the range, so he's forced to throw punches against thin air, just keep moving. And he'd probably be able to survive a little bit more if he was able to just keep his distance.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. They gave each other a hug. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, they'll be in the jacuzzi together later.
Yeah. A bit of Korean barbecue. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, so that Bradley is giving it a little bit now. He's giving a little bit.
Well, it's about time.
He's desperately trying to finish.
He needs the knockout. He needs this knockout.
Yeah, that's what he's desperately trying to knock him out now.
Yeah.
He's desperate to get him.
Oh, no. What's he going? He hit him in the back of the head, did he? Oh, well.
Yeah, well, that's because he was ducking.
Well, if you will expose your neck in your head.
He's got a hit from closer range, and once he gets in there, that's it. He just hugging, but he can't stay in that position, And to be fair to that Bradley Scott, he's been very lenient with him. He's letting him hug him, and he's just taking the opportunity to breathe. Maybe he needs a breath, but the point is, he is just going, okay, he's grabbing me. I'm just going to let go. I'm just going to stop fighting. At that point there, because otherwise at that point he can hook him as much as he wants. And then once he lets go, he's going to let rip.
Yeah, he is sort of, being a gentleman about it.
Yeah, he's been very, and he's throwing him about, of course.
Of course, that's not very gentlemanly. But
he's just fed up now. I think he's just fed up. You can see it in him. He's just. God's sake,
it's like, yeah.
He's probably got a bloody, massage parlor to go to afterwards or something. He just doesn't want to be there. Let's get this over with. Why haven't you fell over yet?
Is this?
Well, haven't you been knocked out?
Is this what it's come to? Is it? Jesus. Oh my Christ. Yeah, it's. I think Dickie.
And he hasn't got a. Go on.
I was going to say Dickie's block button on his controller isn't working, is it?
Mm-hmm. So Bradley just doesn't seem to have a lot of cover either when he's.
He doesn't need it. He's being a cocky. He thinks he can. Yeah. He thinks he can be a mover, but he's not a mover. He's too big of a unit to be a defensive fighter. So if he was fighting someone who had a bit about them, he'd be getting hit all over the place.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But because he's fighting Dickie, and he knows there's no threat there, and he's, to be fair to Dickie, he's on his last sort of, breath sort of thing, because he's absolutely knackered. But so there's no need for him to, cover up that much, is there? Look at him. What's he going to do anyway if he does?
Yeah, if he hits him, he's not going to have a great deal of that.
And is that it? Wow. Yeah. Well, that was incredible. What can I say?
I saw his lips move then.
Yeah. So
Thai massage, I think it said.
Yeah. Yes. Korean barbecue and massage.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm gonna ask you, right? Who the real winner of that was? Who do you think? When all is said and done.
Well, I mean, see, this Bradley put a lot into it, but did he win or did DK lose? Do you know what I mean? Did he actually win through his skill and his ability and his tactics?
No.
Or did he did the other guy just simply lose?
The other guy,
because he had no,
But
he had no tactics or strategy.
But when you look at when you go past this, this performance or whatever the hell it was, and you sort of think, right, okay, what was proved here? Nothing. It was
absolutely nothing.
But then you look at Dickie and you think, okay, so he's really come out on top because he's silenced or put to bed a lot of his critics who said, right, He's going to
They
get
haven't got the
knocked
stamina.
out.
Yeah.
He's going to get knocked out. It's a UFC guy, right? So I think if Brad really wanted to train, which he didn't, let's face it, he can mess around with pads in his gym with his buddy who knows nothing about nothing, quite frankly. But if Brad really wanted to train, he could have put on a better performance than that. And I know he's got it in him because I've seen him.
And is that the guy that does the?
Yeah, that's the other one.
The swearing.
Yeah, that's it. The one.
When they had equal points.
Yeah. That's the one.
I don't blame him disagreeing, but that's not exactly etiquette.
No, it's not etiquette. You two lads from Bristol. Yeah, all right. Try and keep a lid on it, boys. Not going to happen, is it? But you didn't knock him out, Brad, which you could have if you'd have bothered to train a bit harder. But you underestimated your opponent. Bottom line, all right? You did. You underestimated him. Of course, he wasn't much of an opponent, was he? But it was a bit of a lackluster performance, and certainly Dickey was, out of his element there. So, do we think that was the most important fight since UFC 1? No, it was crap. And quite frankly, if you'd paid money for that, Jesus.
No, I wouldn't have paid money for that.
Jesus.
No. I've seen better fights than that.
I've seen better fights in the playground.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God. So interesting. But now that I imagine this DKU will have that on his, record or whatever, oh, look at me, and that. But I think the rumor was after that fight, I think Dickey was in hospital, with
concussion.
Well, probably. I don't know. He's a big unit. But what a bit of a pointless thing. Let's all throw out challenges, shall we? And where's it get you? No, bloody nowhere. Jesus Christ. But interesting. So, there you go. Half an hour of your lives wasted, everybody. Do we have anything further to say on that? Jesus. So anyways.
I didn't know that was crap.
It was bad, wasn't it? It was bad. Your light is all funny now.
Is it? Oh, I'll close the sun's going down now.
Yeah.
So I'll just close the shutters.
Go on then.
Bear with me. There you go. Okay.
Anyway.
Back in the room.
If we apologize for that commentary. Anyway, right. Back to business. So, a while back, let's go from that to talking about Ging again. Right. So interesting. So we did a podcast, blah blah blah, a while back, talking about Ging, and you suggested that it's a cough, it's a release of energy.
Obviously.
Go on. Yeah.
It's the simplest way to describe. If you want a layman to know something, then you say it the simplest way. You don't start coming out with all sorts of different, analogies or whatever, because people just don't get it. Okay, and that's all that. It's a simple thing. There you go. It's a cough. Yeah. That doesn't mean to say you go and it works. It's the whole body. Okay. Right. Now, a lot of people like to say that it's a shake. A lot of people to say it's a drop, like in certain parts of the set where you're going like so with your fist under your hand. Yeah. If you did that, you're trying to release someone from your grip, from gripping your hand.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just do that. You would drop as well, because as you dropped, there's far more energy in it. Yeah, and you can describe that as a Ging explosion or a movement, if you want. Okay, but any shudder or cough or anything like that, when I say cough, that's how I describe it. So it's any shudder or twist.
Well,
it's an explosive movement with the body.
Right.
Now, an explosive movement in the body automatically will suggest that the body's moving. Okay, so whether it's moving shoulder, whether it's moving hips, whether it's moving body, torso, when it's moving legs, you're dropping the legs down, the weight's dropping down, you're shaking, so you're going from left to right. It's irrelevant. It's a cough.
Well,
boom.
Yeah.
Shake.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear as to what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to make it into some kind of amazing thing that you have to find in the middle of the Amazon jungle in the middle of, the 3rd century. And
of course not. Well, yeah. Why break a habit of a lifetime, old man? This is why you're starving. This is why you're a starving artist. Because if you did that, you'd have a bigger following, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Other than the 2 people who listen to us. Now,
top secret.
Top secret. No secrets in martial arts. Right. So we had a comment going back to this, right? It was from Simon. And Simon
I love Simon.
Yeah. Good.
I like Simon Cam. I think I got a lot of time for Simon.
Okay. I don't know him. So you know him, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Wait. All right. Okay.
Well, I just see him on the summer course and stuff on courses.
Great. Okay. Well, brilliant. So I didn't know who Simon was, but I extended him the courtesy and respect that a comment like this warrants. Okay. And because absolutely, why not? So Simon writes in and he says, and this was a while back now, but he says in response to the podcast where we talk about Ging, he says, "Hi guys. Interesting points here. I'll put my 2 pence worth into the pot. Of course, not an expert here, just observations," he says. He says, "Firstly, I think the cough comparison with Ging doesn't really explain all the different waist movements involved to express all the types of Ging."
I don't think anyone asks that. They just ask what was Ging.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So before you retort to it, you suggested that Ging is a cough. You said the best way to explain it
best comparison.
The best right. The best way to explain it is a cough. The same sort of expulsion of energy when you cough.
Explosive energy.
Yeah, okay. He says, "I think the cough comparison with Ging really doesn't explain all the different types of waist movements involved to express all the types of Ging. The 8 Gings, for example, Tok, Na, Hin, that we use in Lao, in my opinion, involve more of a waist movement than you would not get in a cough. But I do like the..."
He's talking about like...
Let me finish. Calm down. He says,
biting at the bit here.
But I do like the explosive nature that you think of with the cough comparison, though. So yeah, go ahead. Now you can interrupt me because I finished.
Well, he's talking about like bouncing and spitting and all these very sudden movements that you're making, and all of them are explosive movements and sudden movements, and like a cough.
Like a cough. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
They're all, but they are, some people will twist and really make a big effort and a big kind of impression, trying to make a big impression of shaking motions and so on, to shake, to bounce, to spit and all this kind of thing. You've got the thing, you've got it written down on your...
Yeah, it's there somewhere. It's not there. All the different things, right. So, so anyway, so in response to that, chum. Yeah. Nag. I don't know what any of them mean. I see the thing. I'd
have to go and get a book.
I tell you, all the words.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they are, but I'm like, you do it and not know you do it. Which,
that's. I think the thing is, a lot of people like to express that they know stuff, and in order to express they know stuff, they have to divulge it. They have to have a knowing of how to, I don't know, express it in that kind of sense.
Yeah, but
I've only ever expressed it in a physical sense and demonstrate in a physical sense.
It's also nice to know.
On absolutely.
A trivia level, right?
Oh, I'm not suggesting it's wrong. I'm not suggesting it's bad or or worse. It's no doubt it's great. It's just not me. It's not been me.
No, it's not. But we respect those who do pay extra special attention.
Yeah, people. Well, let's just to give you an example. Someone talks about the 1-inch punch as if it's some kind of amazing secret and so on, and how Bruce Lee did it and all this kind of thing. And then everybody's doing it. And then people are saying, well, you do this with your body, you do that with your shoulder, you do that, you're an inch, you can clench your fist in time and you do it, blah, blah, blah. And what they didn't see was Bruce Lee had the guy standing behind with a chair. So when the guy went over, he fell over the chair, which made it far more impressive. Yeah. Instead of just rolling back a couple of feet, stepping back a couple of feet. Yeah, he couldn't because there was a chair behind him.
Yeah, and he was in a square stance anyway.
Yeah.
He wasn't moving. So
that's right. And when the chair behind him, what's he going to do? He's going to fall over the chair. Yeah. What's that going to look? Impressive.
Damn straight it did.
Yeah, that's fine. So it looks impressive.
Right.
But when if I was to do it, I'd go, boom, there it is. and no one would look at it. I always remember Master Yao saying, his grandfather did a demonstration once, and he got out. Everyone was doing all these big forms and so on, right. And he got up for his turn, and he stood there and he went. Like they just went, and then they said, "Is that it?" And he said, "Well, if you don't know how good that is, no point in doing anymore."
Yeah, I like that.
And that's
good old.
I like that. I like that attitude.
I like that attitude too.
Yeah.
It kind of 2 fingers up to the establishment. I like it. Lao Gar was always the black sheep of kung fu. Come on, right? Anywho, I like that. So I replied back to Simon, and I said to him, I said, great comment, Simon. Definitely worth talking about on the next one. So thank you very much indeed. For the sake of understanding your comment, just a few questions. Genuinely interested in your answers here, I said. Number 1, why is it, in your opinion, that the 8 powers, 16 plus if we're being geeky, should involve the waist? And secondly, to probe further, again, I'm interested in your opinion, I said, do you think when you practice the first set, you should train it with Ging, implying waist movement by his first comment, meaning because he suggested that Ging involves waist movement. And thirdly, last one, I said, could you possibly elaborate yourself on all the different waist movements involved as you see them? Thanks again, Simon. Now, as yet, I haven't had a reply, which is fine. I sort of posed some questions there. And I guess I disagreed with the premise of Simon's initial comment, but not because it's us and we've got to disagree. We're right, they're wrong. Not at all.
Oh no, I would not disagree with him.
No. I disagreed with the premise because I said my attitude is, well, why does it that every single power, if you like, have to involve the waist? Because it doesn't. Why should it?
No.
Because if I'm going to release, I don't necessarily, have to use the waist. If I, in a turn
you probably won't. But the idea is training it for that.
No. I understand that you could train it like that, but you could equally train it, like you said, from the shoulder, from the arm. So you've got to bounce.
I think a long time we had an argument about it, like a reverse punch and so on, and no one ever does it. Do you know what I mean? So the reverse punch, learning a punch in the first place,
talking about
all the way
learning.
back. Yeah. Always pulling it back and so on. Well, yeah, but you're learning Ging at some point in time as well. You might not understand it in it.
Yeah, but who says Ging comes from the waist?
No, I'm not suggesting that, but I'm using this analogy. Earlier, we had an argument about a punch being well back to punch, because that is basically how people would learn. Yeah. But in reality, of course, they are just going to punch much closer.
Yeah, from the heart.
And so therefore, it doesn't really involve the
waist as much. Although it does, but it doesn't as much.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same analogy. It doesn't necessarily follow. So you can go bang, and that's kind of involving the waist, but the waist is secondary because you're throwing it and then you're dropping it. so it's increasing the amount of energy. Yeah, fine, but you're not really primarily thinking about the waist. The waist is a center of developmental energy.
Yeah.
The shoulders are the center of developmental energy. So if you want to throw something, you throw your shoulder first. If you want to throw something low, you throw in your waist first. If you want to throw something more powerful, you dig your heel in first. It's all those kind of basis to creating energy. So, but Ging, that isn't Ging per se. That might be how to create Ging. But all I did was describe what it was like. Okay. And that is, boom, and that's a cough. Yeah. Now I could have said sneeze. What would they have said about that?
Oh, we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
So, but that was the description of it.
Well,
and I entirely agree with what he's saying in terms of the waist and that, but don't read so much into it.
Well,
but that's just me. I don't read so much.
I tell you where I tell you where a lot of that comes from. There used to be a lot of courses from John Russell. Doing Laogar courses, where he's in a hall, he's got the projector. Well, I'm going to talk about Ging, right? Now, and one of the pictures he had was a lot of spirals going all up the body and etc. And he, I guess he was trying to illustrate sort of power generation and literally from the root to the fruit sort of thing, and I think it strikes to me as Simon's approaching it from a very sort of
he'll be pro John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's but you can. I would suggest he probably comes from that sort of camp, which is it's great in itself. So my second sort of question to Simon was, do you think when you practice the first set in Lao, you would do it with Ging? Now, we've said before, if you were to do a set with Ging, it's going to be very sort of tiring. But I guess what I'm trying to get at with that, with that question was, we are not really emphasizing, and not really, when you think about it, a hell of a lot of waist movement in the first set. I'm not saying you can't put it in there.
No, but it is the first set. So
but it is the first set. So it's more, hand, wrist, etc. But I know there's people shouting at us right now. No, it's not. You could do it. Yeah, you absolutely.
Yes, you can do it, but you have a choice of making it huge, or making it fast.
Yeah,
and you're not going to be able to do both.
No. And
so you can either create a massive amount of energy in a small area, which you can, and that's what Ging is for. So you can boom, very, very short. So you could certainly do it. You can 1 and 2 and 3. You can create that, but it's not going to be very fast.
Yeah, it's not, and
it's going to be very tiring. But it's definitely useful. But of course, when you put it in a set and you perform the whole set like that, it's good exercise, but it's absolutely useless in reality.
Yeah.
Because in reality, the Ging in the one movement, bam, would be useful.
Yeah.
Okay, bam would be useful, very, very useful, of course, because it increases your energy.
Yeah.
And especially for smaller people who would really throw all their energy into one point. And that's what it's for. That's what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
But in practicing a whole set with Ging, that would just, you'd be knackered.
It'd be a killer, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be knackered. But,
if we look at a lot of, anatomical, what we would call probably anatomical releases and stuff like that. Someone grabs you, and straight away it's a reaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're not letting them set.
Ging, So in self-defense, Ging would be a very useful point.
but okay, yes. But my point I was getting at there is, like someone in an ideal world, right? So someone grabs you, and straight away there's that reaction. Because you've done your sticking hands, you're sensitive, blah, 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 blah. You're not waiting for that person to grab you, set themselves. Because when they set themselves, that's when you're going to have to really sort of, pull them, move them off balance, imply the waist,
full release.
for a release, use Ging as a release. But, you know, sort of if we are looking at straight away a reaction, you know, someone grabs you, oh, there it is, a release into a grab, into etc. You know, that's what we mean by a small move. The smaller move,
it's not necessarily going to require it, but it's very useful for people who are smaller, who won't be able to throw the energy to release.
But
so it is a matter of like moving the shoulders and pulling the elbow down.
And
remember in the sets when we do the first set, and then people do this, and so on, and then they get to the point where they're doing this the back of the hand.
Yeah.
And we always have this argument where you are either going to bring the arm in and take it out, or you're going to just drop the elbow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which is it to be?
Well,
so this is with
either or,
with the waist, or with the shoulders. Yeah, or this is with the shoulders.
Well, that same move,
waist or shoulder. Yeah,
well,
and then it becomes different then.
Yeah, but that same move is doubled up in Laugar look at Kuhn.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what they're talking about as explosion.
Yeah.
So, but that explosion, where does it come from? Because, like I said,
well, I would argue it comes from the bloody ground upwards.
Yeah, you can drop that from the ground, dropping the whole body down, or there, boom, shoulders, because you want to make a completely different approach or a different response.
Well, I
for the same move.
Yeah,
and so it's down to individuals then who can pursue that.
Yeah, I would always sort of maybe. I would start with like, you know, I always like the root to the fruit. So if you've not got good footwork initially, then, you know, you're going to struggle with everything else.
Yeah.
So for me, it's quite important to have good footwork and good sense of your center of gravity, etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rather than focusing on the waist down, what I would do is tend to start from the foot up.
I think in Simon's case, I think he's arguing the concept of the style as opposed to individual movements. He just wants to suggest that this is how you would teach the style in terms of applying Ging.
Yeah, but who says this is how? I'm not putting words in Simon's mouth. I don't think you can either. But you know, where is it in the style? It says Ging must start from the waist.
No, but Ging is just it's just an explosion of energy.
Okay, but so
it doesn't
once
have to
again,
start from the waist.
Yeah, so
again,
it doesn't have to start from the waist. Yeah.
No, you can kick from the heel. You can kick. You can move from the shoulders, but you know the waist is the center point. So it is. You know, that's your torso. That's your whole body movement. It's let's face it. We always say you've got far more muscles in your waist than you have in your arm.
Yeah.
So trying to make someone release by moving your arm is not going to help. However, if you twist the body and you move your torso, you're going to have far more strength in comparison to his arm against your arm. His arm against your arm is going to be, it becomes his arm against your whole body.
Yeah,
and that's what Simon's trying to employ. I think.
Absolutely.
When in his training and absolutely recommended it, you know, and commended. So, but that's not what, you know, my argument, or rather my explanation was just a simple one.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and now we've been talking about it for a while, and you can see how complicated it can become.
Yeah, because it's an intellectual discussion.
Yeah, if you start
count
me out of that then.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. I kind of think, how much time can we waste on this? All right, it's important to understand what we're doing, but you know, how much time is there to be, you know, given?
I think if you understand the energy is coming from the center, if you understand the energy is coming from within, then that's enough. Because I think in the old days, you wouldn't have got that kind of explanation. You would have seen the guy hit and see how powerful he was.
They didn't have overhead projectors in the old days. Let me tell you.
That's true. And spirals, graphs, and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
Hello there, John. Yeah. No. So, so I thought that was a really good comment from Simon, and
he was a good comment.
I'd like him to get back in touch and just go.
He'd be talking a different language.
No, that was great. So
he'd have a totally different approach to us.
Well, that's fine because diversity and
I know.
fantastic. Good.
Yeah.
Right. We're ending 2021. Any standout moments throughout the episodes of the podcast we've done? Anything that sticks out? Not really.
There's so many, isn't there?
Is there?
And there's so much to talk about. No, I don't know when it was when we were talking about those people who I had, that gave me crap, my ex-students. We were talking about that once. I remember the guy saying to me, well, he didn't say, he said it in an email. I'm reactive, not proactive. I'm greedy. I'm something like that.
That was
the guy that was stealing the clubs.
Oh yeah,
said I was greedy.
That was,
but the reason
the other year. That was the other year.
Oh, was it? Well, the reason I mention it is because I'm going to be proactive this year because I'm going to be driving across Canada.
Wow.
So it's 7,000 kilometers. It's like a fifth of the circumference of the Earth. I've got to drive to move house.
Wow.
So, well, we got to take the furniture.
Well, it's and
we can't fly. We got the dog, and no one will take the dog. So.
Now, are you? I want an exclusive. When you get to New Brunswick, are we going to see some kung fu classes pop up in New Brunswick?
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that. That's the plan. But because of the job I do now, it finishes at 9 o'clock at night, and I've been doing 6 days a week till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
and so that's what's made it really difficult to keep up these little videos as well. Plus, we've got nowhere to do it. We've got like a rented house, and the garden is, it's just full of junk.
Yeah.
So there's and of the 6 of us in a little rented house. So.
Yeah.
But we have got ourselves a house now. We're going to have a couple of pigs.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a couple of pigs coming, but they're there. They came with the house.
Just throw in some pigs.
Yeah, they've took them in.
What are you?
They had chickens and pigs.
Are you turning into Jed Clampett? Jesus, it's a cement pond, Pa.
No, it's at the edge of a wood as well as the edge of a forest, so it's middle of nowhere. You go in the garden and you just go forever.
Yeah,
until you reach the Arctic.
Well, that sounds lovely, but
we'll be 4 hours closer, so we'll have a lot better.
Listen, you can tell me how great Canada is, but you ain't got a kung fu class yet, have you?
No, okay.
There you go.
I did have one.
You did have
but then the COVID finished that off.
Well, we're under Omicron, at the moment. So we don't know whether in the new year we can effectively set a start date back up again for the club, because the last class was tonight for us. So,
No, well, we'll see. I'll definitely try. And I won't be working as much in that, but I've been, I'm teaching the classes as well of the driving school. So I've become very much involved in that and been very successable with teaching people.
Well,
85% pass rate.
Yeah. Well, you're a good teacher. I know that. I'm not blowing smoke up your jacksie, but
No, I know. I get it. I know.
I had a comment on Facebook saying I was a good teacher the other day.
Yeah. Well done.
I was like, oh, that's nice. Anyway, right. So, with that in mind,
well, that's the future. That's the new year.
Yeah. So well, I'm looking forward, because you'll be 4 hours behind. So
that's right. Be 4 hours behind. You'll be able to fly over in 4. Well, okay. How long does it take? About 4 hours.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, 4 hours, 5 hours to fly over to Montreal.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
and then from Montreal.
Yeah, it's not far. Not far, is it? Is that another flight, or is it a drive? A drive, wouldn't it?
From Montreal, will be flight.
Oh, will it? Oh, okay.
Oh shit, yeah.
All right. So my Canadian geography is not great. Right. No. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us again, and we really appreciate the support, the listenership. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Hopefully, when Old Man Noobs gets a bit more settled, because you're like a bit nomadic, aren't you? Really, you tend to move around a bit. You've not settled. When you settle in Canada, we'd like to think we could get a bit more of a studio your end, so we can do some videos.
Most definitely. I've got it. I've got my studio in the garden as well.
You've got a big garage.
You do know you're closer to New Brunswick than I am now.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
You're about twice as close.
Yeah, it's
crazy. As I am.
Crazy.
Yeah,
but wrong.
So I've got a studio.
Right. So we're hoping to do that, guys, because you can appreciate the logistics of trying to do videos and stuff from Canada and the UK, etc. It's tough one.
Yeah, 8 hours difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but we thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. We thank our haters. We love you all. We do.
Yeah.
And
thanks for screaming.
Thank you, guys. We hope you have a lovely holiday season. Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, all the rest of it. And this is James still saying we'll see you on the other side of 2022. And best of luck and goodbye from me.
And wish me luck driving 7,000 miles in winter conditions.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You're a
February,
trucker,
James.
Man. You're a trucker, old man. Come on.
Yeah.
That's nothing. You're an ice road trucker, right?
Yeah, but Jackie's driving behind me.
Oh, well. Good luck with that. With a gammy wrist as well. Right. Okay. So we got to go. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. And you got to learn to sign off, old man. Come on. It's good night from him. Good night.
And it's good night from me. Good night.
See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Concentrate on your enemy's weak points. The eyes, the throat, the knackers.
Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us on the Kung Fu Podcast. If you like that and you want to find out more about us, you can head over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram or YouTube and find us under SJN Martial Arts. And also guys, this podcast is available on Podbean and iTunes. So until next time, take care of yourselves and we'll see you again on the Kung Fu Podcast.
Karate punch is like an iron bar, whack. A Kung Fu punch is like an iron chain with an iron ball attached to the end and it go whang.
Can you break a log like that?
Don't know. Never been attacked by tree.